So this is a book review. So for this book review, I'm going to be reviewing Keeping 13, and if you guys watched my last book review, I reviewed Binding 13, and now I'm going to try to review the entire series in its own video because the books are so good they do deserve their own videos. So this is my cover, Keeping 13 by Chloe Walsh. This is the old covers before she got picked up by Bloom, and I love the old covers. I've tabbed like this entire book and it's so good. Obviously I tabbed it pink, so there's a lot of different tabs. I don't know if you can see them all, but it's about Johnny Cavanagh and Shannon Link. Obviously, this picks up right where Binding 13 left off. It pretty much picks up right there. Well, like a day or two after, but like, you get the gist. And then it ends right before they go back to school for his 6th year and her 5th year, because she skipped 4th year because she was in 3rd year and he was in 5th, but 4th year is just a transition year, so she was allowed to, they were given the option to skip it, which I kind of love. So yeah. So Shannon obviously has an older brother, Joey, has another older brother, Darren. Oh, obviously I'm going to spoil some stuff, so if you haven't read the book, you probably shouldn't watch this because there's going to be several spoilers, but if you don't care, watch it anyways. So, basically Darren's the oldest brother, then it's Joey, then it's Shannon, then it's Tig, Ollie, and Sean. Maria and, I think that's her name, and then Teddy are the parents. Can't stand Teddy. He's horrible. No joke. Dude is horrible. So basically, Shannon wakes up in the hospital because of her father. I'm not going to go into the details, but you guys can probably figure it out what happened. And Johnny was in a hospital because he just had surgery. So he found out and was like, I'm going to go talk to her, like I'm going to go. And like, so he shows up. And her mother does not want her with Johnny. And I'm like, he's so good for her. Like, no. And then eventually Shannon's parents died in a house fire. Which, I felt bad for the mother, Maria, but the father, oh, he can go. Couldn't stand the man. And, you know what, it's fictional, so, yeah. And then, what else happens? Oh, the siblings all get adopted by the Cavanaghs, Adele and John, who are Johnny's parents. Johnny's best friends, Johnny plays rugby, and his friends that play rugby are Gibbsy, which is his #1 bestie, and then there's Huey and Feely. And then Shannon's friends are Claire and Lizzie, and Huey's dating a girl called Kate. There's more to that if you guys know. There's a lot to it. But there's some really good quotes in this book, and they're so cute. I love them. And Johnny is so good for Shannon, and Shannon is so good for Johnny, because Johnny was so focused on rugby before he met Shannon. But then once he knew her and was like in love with her and obsessed, he was like still gonna play rugby, but his world flipped from being all rugby to her. And I love that. That man's amazing. Like, love him. They like do a lot of things together, like they hang out a lot. Now, there's like a lot, there's like 700 or 800 pages of this book. No, maybe like 600 something. Yeah, like 600. But like, even though there's like 600, there wasn't like a dull moment in this book. Like, there was always something kind of going on. Even if it wasn't a big thing, there was still like them going to like the movie theater, or I think they might call it the cinema there. I don't know what they called it. But obviously I'm American, so I'm going to call it movie theater. And there's obviously some different things, like there's Irish words in here that I'm like, oh, I've never heard that, but now I love it. Like, pack it in the Ladia. We don't tend to say that, but I love it. What other good ones are there? I'm like, I can get away with saying some of this probably in my school. Probably shouldn't, but like, yeah. Like, obviously I knew like a boot was the trunk of a car. Like, I knew that. That's what they call it in like England and stuff. But I don't say that. I call it a trunk. Yeah. And they call it the bonnet the hood of the car, which is just the hood of the car. they got, like, some I'm like, okay, I know what that means, but then at the same time I'm like, oh, this is, like, definitely different. Like, there's some of these that I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I get that. Obviously they say primary school, like, things in secondary school. Where I am, yeah, I'm about, like, one of those levels. I'm not telling you which one. Like, obviously we don't have, like, a leaving cent or a junior cent. Like, we have tests, and that's about all you got. Like, we have semester finals and end of the year finals, but, like, that's every year. And, like, yeah. Like, hurling, I don't think that's an Irish sport, so I'm guessing we don't play it here. I know what rugby is. I don't know much about it, but I know it's a sport, like, in a bunch of countries. So, yeah, Chipper, it's like a fast food restaurant there, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's kind of nice. Some of these words that they use, I'm going to start using because they literally say, what do they say? They, like, when something's gone wrong, they say Jesus, Joseph, Mary, and the donkey, and I'm like, oh, I would never have thought to say that, but, like, it is kind of fun. You're like, why? But theirs is so much more fun. And, like, Adele says a decent amount, and I'm like, yeah, with those kids, probably need to say it a lot. But, yeah. Tyke is, like, a little bit, like, he's gone through a lot, but I'm like, oh, okay, the little kid standing up for his, like, sister is, like, iconic, and he's, like, 11. I'm like, the 11-year-old should not be having to stand up for his, like, his siblings, his sister, like this. Like, none of them should have been gone through that. I'm like, I feel bad for Maria, but at the same time, I'm like, you should have kicked him out long ago. Like, no. Like, you should have stopped this years ago. I get it. She was 14 when she had Darren, and Teddy was, like, 18, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's horrible. Like, she's been going through that since she was 14 years old. But Teddy shouldn't have done that. She was 14, and you were 18. Like, no. Like, that's not normal. Like, no. And then, so obviously, like, they had the kid, and then they had Joey and Shannon, and then, like, after that, downhill. Literally. They had 3 more kids, and everything was going downhill. And I'm like, why? Like, I get it. Like, he's not doing anything. Like, get him out, get him away from your kids. Like, your priority should have been your children. It should not have been that guy. It should have been your kids, and not, they should not have been going through any of that. Like, I feel bad for them. Because obviously, like, I still have empathy for Maria, but I don't like her. I can have empathy for a person, but also not like them at the same time, because, yeah. Because there's things I'm like, I get it, you were going through all this stuff, but she still had choices. She still had choices to leave him around. And I get it, he would, like, say some things that are not very kind. But still, like, you had some other options. And, yeah. And obviously, at the end, it was, like, I don't know if it was, like, the middle maybe of the book, I don't know. But, obviously, like, that was sad, and that should not have happened. But a good thing they were not buried by each other, because, yeah, I would have been pissed. But, like, there's this little part when it's a funeral for Teddy and Maria. There were so many more people there for Teddy, and I'm like, the whole town knew what he did, but his family still showed up and was, like, acting like, oh, he was this great guy. He was terrible, and he had enough people to carry his casket, but Maria didn't. Joey and Darren asked, there was Gibbsy and Johnny, and then Alex, and Maria's brother-in-law, her sister's husband, that carried the casket. And it was like, she didn't have all these people, but she was so much better than him. And the kids, when the kids side with her, you know which one's better. Like, obviously she wasn't the best person. Like, but she never hurt those kids. She maybe mentally did some things that were definitely not the best. 100% she did some of that. But, you know what? She never hit them or anything like that. Some mental things to Joey, but which was not good. Like, I didn't like that. But yeah. Well, that's my review of Keeping 13. Obviously, the book was 5 stars for me. But yeah, I'll see y'all next time. Bye, y'all.